Good afternoon, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 2 trades this morning right at the market open. I'm going to show you those trades in just a moment. First, let me show you my screener. I always like to show you how I pick my stocks in the morning. I do it the exact same way every day. That way, I'm collecting data that actually means something. If I just pick stocks at random or I don't have a method for picking them, then I don't really know if what I'm doing works or not in the long run. So I use my mid-cap screener. These are the criteria. Make sure you always press those 3 dots, click modify, otherwise your filters will not be applied. Then you organize the list by volume, or I do at least, because I want to trade the stocks with the most volume and the highest percent gain. And if they have a higher volume or higher relative volume and they're at the top of the list, but their percent change isn't quite as high as maybe something down lower, that it does not have a higher average volume, I always go for the one with more volume. And this morning, that was pretty clear choice. Pstg was the one that I chose, and we'll see what happened with those trades. So COTY was up there, but it ended up not breaking out through its previous high. As of right now, which is 130, it looks like it may have, but my plan always says, that at some point I have to decide which stock that I'm going to trade, and then I use my 3 trades on that stock alone because that gives me a higher probability of the trade working out. I know that for a fact based on all of the data that I've collected on my own trades. So that's already been proven. So here we are on the Pstg. Let me show you that entry. Let's back it up here a little bit. So that was the one that I chose because it was looking the strongest. Here was COTY at that time. It may have just broken out right after that, but again, it doesn't matter. You're not always going to pick the right stock. You just have to stick to your choice and apply your statistics so that they can work for you. If you try to figure out which one you think is going to work out based on some other idea or hunch or feeling, then chances are you're going to be wrong anyway. So might as well just use your data and let that be the guiding factor. And then in the long run, it should pay out. So Pstg gave me an entry. Let's go back to the entry. Sorry about that. All right. So here it is breaking out through the previous day high. That's when I'm triggered to look for an entry. Now I need to wait for a 1-minute candle to make a new high after a pullback. So the pullback happens right here on this red candle, and you can see the high of that candle is 24.37. So I needed to see 24.38 or better. The next candle I don't think does it. The one after this one does. Let's actually no, that one does. So let's take a look at this bubble here. When I see 24.38 is when I trigger my hotkeys. There you go. So you can see I pretty much instantaneously hit it. I got a lot of slippage this time, but you could see how quickly the price moved up. That is not a broker issue. That's not a platform issue. That is because a ton of buyers were waiting to get in at that exact same level, and the price moved up extremely fast. So if you're using hotkeys to enter like I do, which allows me to really focus on the chart and target a very specific entry, that's why I like to do that, then that can happen. It doesn't happen that often, and usually when it does happen, it makes no difference whatsoever if it's truly a strong setup and the stock kind of performs well. So in this case, this was a strong setup, but it did not do what the setup kind of said that it should do. And that's exactly how the stock market works. Just because you see a pattern, you see a setup that, it should go to 2R or 3R or whatever, doesn't mean it's going to. And that's why you use a stop loss. So today is another example. Yesterday, I also had a red day. So these 2 days are just good examples of following your plan, sticking to the strategy, whether it works or not. It's not going to work every single day. Your red days as a trader are the cost of doing business as a trader. You cannot expect every single day to be green. If you try to force a day to be green, if you try to turn a red day into a green day, usually, more often than not, you're going to end up with a bigger red day. So instead of doing that, I just follow my plan and do exactly what it says. So this entry was really good other than that slippage, but that was not my fault. I executed it perfectly. I hit those hotkeys as quickly as possible as soon as I saw that price where I wanted to see it. And when that happens, I also mark out my would-be profit target, which you're going to see me do in just a second. So if I would have gotten my ideal entry, like 1 cent above that candle, which is where I wanted to get in, this is where my profit target would have been, 25.04. So this way I know if that price level gets hit, and let's say the price comes down and stops me out without hitting my profit target, I know that I should just stop trading for the day because a 2-hour trade worked out as planned, except for it just did not get executed properly, either by my slow execution or by some slippage or something like that. When that happens, I just quit trading for the day. No reason to try to force a trade because a 2-hour trade that you were looking for already happened without you. So let's see what happens in this case. The price goes up. It's looking pretty promising. Goes up to $24.99, which is an obvious resistance, but I don't really trade based off of that stuff. I just take my 2-hour profit target or lose 1 hour on every trade. And statistically, that has worked out the best for me. So there's nothing for me to do. I have my bracket orders out. I use my 2-hour calculator. It tells me where my 2-hour profit target is. And my stop loss is always based on the previous candle that I entered on. So all of that stuff is set. And you can see this trade took a long time. It was really a grueling trade. So I'm just fast forwarding here. This is my first trade of the day. And then it stops me out, which I expect. My first trade loses more often than any others. And this weekend on my results so far video about this trading plan, I'm going to talk about that and what I might modify when I put this plan into action with full position size. So look out for that on Sunday. So whenever I get stopped out of a trade, if it's not past 10:30, which you can see it's not, then I have to look for the next entry. As long as the price hasn't come down below point A, and point A is still way down here somewhere, you can't see it on this chart, obviously. So I'm just waiting for the next 1-minute candle to make a new high, and that's going to be my entry. And I know that that trade has a much higher probability of working out, about 55%. So there's no reason not to take it. It has a higher probability of working out than my first trade. So I'm just waiting for 1-minute candle to make a new high. I think it's going to happen right here. 2406 is a new high over that one there. You can see I triggered my hotkeys instantly. This time I got filled exactly where I wanted to. No slippage whatsoever. Price is moving a little slower now. That's why. And again, I put my stop loss in place. I use my 2-hour calculator, which comes in really handy. If you want to download that, it's available at patreon.com/tradingarmor. And once I get my profit target, then I move the profit target bubble in place. And then the trade is all done. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to sit here and watch it if I don't want to. And you can see right now it's very close to 10:30. So let's fast forward a little bit and let's see what happens here. So 10:30 comes around. That's when I'm supposed to stop looking for trades or taking trades. Like if I got stopped out at this point, even though I have a third trade left, I can't take it because my window to take trades is already up. So I walked away, but once I came back and realized, okay, my trade time is up, then I just shut down the platform and that's it. And then a few minutes later, what ended up happening was I did get stopped out of that trade, maybe like 15, 20 minutes later. I can show you those orders right here so you can see filled orders. And you can see I only took 2 trades today. Let's expand this a little bit. So here's the 2 Pstg trades. Those are the only 2 trades I took. Today's the 26th, so you can see those are the orders from today. And that's the first trade, and there's the second trade. So the second trade stopped me out. Let's see, what time was that filled at? Oh, over here. 10:41. So it stopped me out almost 12 minutes later after my window to look for trades closed. So that's it. It hit my stop. Stopped me out exactly where I wanted to get hit. And so 2 losses for the day. So minus 2R for today. The plan is still profitable. I'm up to 79 trades now. Only 21 more to go before I can declare whether or not this plan is going to be profitable in the long run. But we're getting very close, and it's been profitable almost this entire time. So it's looking like that's going to be the way to go. But why not just finish up the testing, take it all the way to 100 trades before we put this thing into use? So let me know if you have any questions about this plan, the trades, or anything like that. I'll get back to you in the comment section. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to it no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.